is Kristen Brinley. I'm here with the wonderful Marjorie Stuart. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Kristen.
Yeah, I appreciate you. So she is our May cover. If you haven't checked it out, definitely do so. Page 66 in there. And on Digipub, Digapub, so check it out. She has a wealth of knowledge. She's been in business 39 years. Individual agent doing 35 to 45 million plus like a year. And over 700 million in her career. So definitely has some knowledge to pass on. Can you tell us, you could do anything, like why real estate? How did that happen?
So Kristen, it was by accident. I was in an accident at a fair when I was 16, and 6 years later I was awarded $2,000, and I said, okay, I'm going to take this money and figure out what I want to do with my life, and I moved to Washington, D.C. And I had a roommate with a boyfriend who was sitting on his bed drinking beers with a big book that said Real Estate Principles and Practices. And he said, Marjorie, I'm going to take a real estate test and I'm going to make a lot of money. I said, I'm going to do that too. And here I am.
Timing, fortuitous.
Perfect
right
timing.
Is he still a real estate agent?
I never saw him again.
That's hilarious. I'm glad he was there at that time. So what has been your biggest challenge as a real estate agent?
Biggest challenge, I would say, is finding the right clients for me. In our business, people want to hear what they want to hear, and then they hire you because they like what you said. So for me, I want to meet someone who is looking for. I keep screwing that up. So let's just take that part over again. Is that okay?
No, that's okay. We're good. Go ahead. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
My biggest challenge in real estate is finding the right client. And the right client for me, the right clients are smart people who are looking for someone to tell them what they need to know, not what they want to hear. Because what they want to hear isn't reality. And most people want to hear, I want more money, I want you to not have to do anything because it's easy, and I don't want to pay you anything because you didn't do anything. So getting rid of those people and finding the smart people is the challenge.
I bet, yeah. I think you're pretty good at it though.
Thank you.
What's been the most rewarding part of your business?
The most rewarding part of my business is making things happen. Part of the fun of being a real estate agent is we're entrepreneurs, and there are no guidelines of how to do your business. So I tend to be very creative, make things happen, and I have fun while I'm doing it, and my clients love it when they win and get what they want.
That's great. So how does it fit in your dreams and goals?
My dreams and goals. What are my dreams and goals? Well, like everyone, I want to play. I want a vacation. So this business allows me to play, have lunch with my friends, vacation. I don't like to go on appointments personally until 11 o'clock in the morning, and I can't think of any other way so that I could have this life.
That's great. And now you were telling me about going to all your son's baseball games, right?
Right.
That's amazing. Like for 4 years, didn't you go to all the games?
I went to almost all the games. But the last year I was the team mom. This is college baseball, team mom. And we went to 38 games. And we also followed him to 2 championship games. So it was pretty exciting, and the most exciting part was I could mix that with my business and do all my business from the baseball field. It was great.
That's beautiful. And that's rare you can do those kind of things. Define success for us.
Success for me is having peace of mind, being able to wake up in the morning and know that everything is okay. I'm not chasing money anymore. I'm not really chasing anything, that I can be at ease and know that I am going to sell another house. I am going to take a vacation. I am going to be able to play with my grandkids, have lunch with my friends. That's success.
Tell us more about your family. You just said grandkids. We just talked about your son for a second. Yeah, tell us a little bit more about your family.
Well, you laughed at this earlier. I said I used to say I have 1 son, 1 lizard, and 1 husband. And my family is now bigger than that because I mix my work and my play. So my family is really my close friends, some of my clients, my husband's family, some of my family, people that just come for holidays from my past. And for someone who only has 2 really living people in my immediate family, I am blessed with a huge family.
That's beautiful. Your chosen family.
My chosen family.
Tell us what you're currently learning.
Well, Bill and I recently started a real estate agent training coaching business. So I'm constantly learning how to be a better coach and a better trainer. We're teaching classes around the area. We're doing webinars a little bit around the country. I had the opportunity to be at the Keller Williams family reunion and be on a panel of social media experts. It was kind of ha-ha, but I actually was an expert. And there were 800 people in the room. And last week I went to my studio in Orlando to do another webinar with my husband. So I'm really working on being a better coach, trainer, real estate person.
Fantastic. You were going after things. What about, so tell me some hobbies, interests, maybe outside of the business?
Outside the business. Well, I've always done arts and crafts, so I've always been a little artsy. I like to make jewelry. A lot of the jewelry I make is fun stuff. I made bracelets for all the fans at Emory, the moms and the grandkids.
That's cool.
I have this thing for wild animals. I love wild animals. I like to go where they are. I talk to the squirrels all the time. I've got friends that are iguanas, and I live to take vacations where the wild creatures are. My biggest hobby.
Do you have any educational classes or books that you could recommend to people?
Well, I would recommend The Cell by Frederick, what's his last name? Eklund?
Eklund,
Frederick Eklund. That is probably the best upbeat, fun real estate business sales book that I've read recently. But I gotta say that one of the things that is sticking with me forever was a class I took in the 80s twice called Sweat Hogs by a guy named Floyd Wickman. He really, really taught me how to make money in the real estate business. And if anyone out there doesn't know what that is, I really recommend that. Check
Nice.
it out.
What would you say is one principle from that you has just stuck and just stayed?
No one wants to hear it. The one principle that probably made my real estate business a success when I had no idea what I was doing was getting on the phone and calling people from 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And I didn't stop until I got an appointment. So it was all about how do you get an appointment? Because if you don't get an appointment, you can't make a sale and you can't get a listing. And if I didn't learn that, I don't know, probably be reading that book with Dave having a drink.
Well, can you tell us what sets you apart, like what makes you different?
What makes me different? What makes me different is I'm not afraid to be myself anymore. Real estate has probably done that to me because you just got to be straight with people. You got to be real. I had an instance, I would say, I started a new farm. You know what a new farm is, years ago. And the guy called me up and he said, I'm deciding between you, Marjorie, and another agent. And I don't know how I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to flip a coin. And I said, well, why don't I come over and flip the coin for you? Or with you, I don't remember. He said, yeah, that's a great idea. So I took my face off of my business card and I actually took two faces and I put one on either side of the quarter and he flipped the coin. And I got the listing. And it was $1 million house, and it was great, and it popped really fast, and it showed me, again, that I really need to be myself to do my best business.
That's
and
beautiful.
Everyone should be doing that.
Yeah.
In fact, Frederick Eklund, the book I was talking about, made a fortune in the real estate business, and he teaches be yourself.
Authentic self.
Yeah, authentic self.
So for you, biggest reason or reasons for your success, what do you think it's been?
I would say the biggest reason for my success is my husband, Bill. Bill and I have been working together for 38 years. And I was an agent, and he was a manager, owner of a real estate company. And I was always an agent, and he was always a manager. And he was my biggest, best coach, mentor. He was the guy who, when I would come home and say, they don't like me, it didn't work, he would kick me out on the street and say, Marjorie, go do it again. And to this day, I would say 12 years ago, we actually got together as not manager and agent, but we are now working together. He's my marketing guy, and I'm the salesperson. So he's behind the scenes, and I'm on the street, and it's working really well for us.
Good for
But
you.
thank you, Bill.
What is your biggest, what do you feel has been one of the biggest failures, and what did you learn from it?
Well, failure is a really tough word because I don't know that anything is really a failure. Okay? So I have to say that my biggest failure was when I was a new agent and they taught me how to farm. I picked a community where there were 400 properties and they were $35,000. And I sold them all, and I became the big head honcho real estate agent in this community. And one day I woke up and I realized that these people could never afford to move. They had no income. Their properties were going up in condo fees were going up, and the values were going down. And I had to give it up. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've worked so hard. Am I a failure? But the answer is no. I threw it in the trash. And then I went to another community that was more money. I started over and I did it again. So the biggest lesson from that failure is you can always start over. Take that and do something bigger with it.
That's a wonderful lesson. It's
Was
a
that
great
too
way to
long?
look at it. No, that was perfect. That was
Okay.
awesome. What's something that you've done that other real producers absolutely should do?
Well, it's coming from that be yourself, and it's really, you should think about your client. Who is your client? Is it a buyer? Is it a seller? And what do they need? And do what they need you to do, not because it's in a book or because it's in MLS. For example, there are no properties to show anybody. What do you do? Well, one winter, I guess it was November, December, I had just had foot surgery. I was in a boot, so I walked up and down 100 steps. I got 100 addresses. I walked up and down 100 steps, and I found a $4.2 million house for my person to buy. We found 4 houses for her to negotiate on. So do what you need to do to help your client and forget about what everybody else is doing, I guess is the answer to that.
That's a beautiful answer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. What is the greatest lesson you feel you've ever learned?
Greatest lesson I'm still learning is I create my own reality. I mean, you read all these books and you hear this stuff and you go, oh yeah, that's really hokey. But you know what? You do create your own reality. I mean, I look at what I created from when I came here with $2,000 and I couldn't even afford to eat to now I have $1 million business plus. I created my own reality. And I just know that if I do and I give, and I do and I give, that the stuff that I need and want is going to come back to me through the universe.
What would you like to be remembered for?
So many things. So many things. I want to be remembered for my generosity. I do a lot of, I just do a lot for the people that I love, and sometimes for the people that I don't love, and one of those lessons is do it anyway, right? My integrity, sometimes it's hard to be a salesperson because of what the public gives you and sometimes what they think of you when they don't know you, and to just hold on to that and know that you can have this integrity, and as long as you're doing the right thing, you're okay. Maybe number one is, like I was saying to you earlier, is I am an A++ mom. I want to be remembered that I was an A++ mom, and take all the credit, a little bit with Bill, for my kid, the way he turned out. And in real estate, for being a great negotiator. My thing is really being a great negotiator. And a lot of that has to just do with the practice and the practice and the practice and the things we're talking about. And a very big thing that I do want to be remembered for, because I don't want to die, I don't want to go anywhere without being remembered that I was a part of my community as a parent, as a friend, as a real estate agent, and as a person who lives on the planet. Thank you.
Absolutely. I feel like you're a great human. Thank you for being
Thank you.
with
You're
us.
a great human. Thank you,
Thank
Kristen.
you, Marjorie. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one, you guys. You heard it here at DC Metro Real Producers.